Hey everyone! So, some of you may remember I did a plant stand quite a while back where I used part of a tray that I found at the thrift store. It was like a wooden tray with like a marble inlay. I just popped the marble out, I set aside the wood to use in a later project, and then I made the stand. Well, now is the later project. I've been wanting a mirror for our entryway, and I thought that I could use the wood from that tray to make like the frame for it. So I'm going to walk you guys through how I made this. So let's get started. I used the wooden tray thing, a mirror, poster board, cardboard, an X-Acto knife, glue, acrylic paint, liquid gold leaf, and E6000. So my initial plan was to just find a mirror that would fit and then stick it in and put the back on, but I couldn't find a mirror that fit perfectly. I think I would have needed one that was about 14.5 inches in diameter, but the best that I could find was a 14-inch diameter mirror. My plan B was to inset the mirror into something that was big enough to fit into the tray, so here's what I did. I cut a piece of the poster board to be big enough to fit into the tray. I ended up using this piece to draw and cut out a circle with the cardboard as well. I placed the mirror on the poster board, centering it as best as I could by eye, and then I traced around the mirror and then cut that out. I made sure to use a sharp blade here because I didn't want the foam of the poster board to get all chewed up looking. If you use a dull blade, it pulls at the foam and gives you a crappy cut. Then I glued the poster board onto the cardboard piece. At this point, I should have stuck the mirror in to make sure that the poster board was a perfect circle for the mirror to fit into. Since it was so thin, it kind of could give a little bit, and I got the placement like a hair off, so it was just slightly an oval instead of a circle, which made the mirror not fit later. You'll see what I mean in a bit. Once dry, I painted it. Actually, I had a little brain fart and I started painting the gold leaf right away, but the thing is, with this type of paint, it dissolves foam. I learned this the hard way back in the day. I tried spray painting something that had foam elements in it, and my project turned into goop. So with these types of paint, avoid painting on raw styrofoam or foam core board. Foam brushes are fine to use with though, because I guess it's a different kind of foam. I'm not exactly sure. All I know is that styrofoam or foam core board are no-nos. Thankfully, I remembered pretty quick before I got too far. So to make it so that I could use the gold leaf, first I had to paint a layer of acrylic paint. I made sure to get the paint all up in the foam edges to ensure that they were totally sealed. This becomes a barrier between the foam and the gold leaf. Once that was dry, I painted the gold on. This was much better. And then once that was dry, it was time to glue in the mirror. I should have dry fit this first though, because as I mentioned earlier, the poster board part got glued in more of an oval shape. I ended up having to cut a little bit off so that the mirror would fit. Then, since this exposed some more of the foam core, I had to paint the acrylic and then gold leaf. I used some E6000 and dropped the mirror in place. While it dried, I put the offcut of the poster board over the mirror, and then the backing of the tray to help spread the weight, and then something heavy to keep the mirror pushed down. Once that was all dry, I put this mirror piece into the tray, and I also stuck the offcut of the poster board in before I placed the backing, because there was still a little bit of a gap, and if I didn't put anything there, this piece that I made with the mirror would be able to kind of like move around and rattle around, which is not what I want. So then once everything was in place, I screwed the backing on. There were a few little spots on the edges where the mirror scraped a little bit of the gold leaf off, so I went back and touched those up. When they were dry, I used a blade to clean any paint that got onto the mirror. Then I cleaned the mirror up. and then this thing was done. I wanted this as a wall mirror, so I just used some command hooks to hang it up. I am so happy with how this turned out. At first, I actually wanted to use wood and use my router to cut out the inlay for the mirror, but I kept second guessing myself. I kept putting this project off because I didn't think that I would be able to do it, because I didn't know how it would go. I've never used our router to cut out an inlay, let alone one that was super big, so it just kind of scared me off from doing that, I guess. So that's why I ended up coming up with this alternative solution of using poster board and cardboard. I think that it was a decent substitute. What do you guys think? I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, please leave a like, and if you want to see more, then feel free to subscribe. I post art videos every Tuesday and DIY videos every Thursday. Thank you to my patrons for helping me produce this video. If you are interested in becoming a patron or learning about what Patreon is, I'll leave a link to mine up here and you can go check it out. You can follow me on Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, Pinterest, Snapchat, and Twitch, and I'll leave the information to all of those down below. If you have any questions or suggestions for future videos, please leave a comment down below, and I'll see you next week.